I never experienced a rap beef when I got to rapping at 15 that didn't result in somebody losing their life. 95% of the murders in my city are rap.
Okay.
Chicago, 95% of the murder. And once you get a grown man, you realize every rap beef has led to destruction.
Okay. But
Gotti, Dolph.
yes.
In the 2020s, being a rap star has now become the deadliest job in the world. Rap music and the streets have always shared a tight-knit relationship. I remember growing up, rap music and rappers were heroes, role models, someone you listen to escape your problems or just to reflect. But today, rap music has been overrun by street personas looking to make their name in the industry. And in today's episode of Hell or Jail, we'll take a deep dive into the Young Dolph trial, what led to his assassination, and how his death sparked violence in the streets of Memphis. But before we get into the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go. Our story takes place in the heart of Memphis, Tennessee, a city fueled by music, gun violence, and struggle. Two figures emerged in 2014, Yo Gotti, already a musical giant, and Young Dolph, a rising star. Soon their paths would collide, shaping one of the deadliest feuds in hip-hop. But before this would turn Gotti from a local sensation to a household name almost overnight. And Gotti was riding this momentum high. But Gotti wasn't just content with claiming his own CMG. And at this time, Young Dolph would make a major decision. In 2014, while Dolph was still climbing the industry ranks, he was approached by Gotti to join CMG. To most, it seemed like a no-brainer, a dream opportunity of us though, dropping 3 mixtapes and his hit single, Preach. His sound was new and unmistakably Memphis.
My baby, born in the 80s, crack baby. Damn. Mama, she was in the street, so guess who raised me?
The sing Gotti had, and more. In my opinion, I think this bitter competition is the start of it all. In the ever-turbulent world of hip-hop, the line between street life and stardom can blur, often with deadly consequences. For Young Dolph, his career was marked by ambition, but also a feud that ran deep in the streets. For years, the tension between the two remained quiet. Gotti dropping timeless mixtapes and Dolph staying focused on his hustle, consistently putting out projects to feed his growing family. Both men aiming to be the king of Memphis. The competition between the two stayed silent until finally it turned to beef when Dolph took to social media and radio claiming that Gotti started hating behind the scenes and even sneak dissing him in his latest mixtapes, The Art of Hustle and CM9, according to Dolph.
I seen the cover, says, "Ho Gotti, play with your bitch, 24 missed calls." So was that a real screenshot?
Come on now. Was it a real screenshot?
Yeah, was that a real screenshot?
Man, come on now.
That's so you saved, that's her name in your phone?
Yeah.
So what happened at this time? Because I remember when we talked before, you know what I'm saying, and this has been an ongoing situation with you, and I remember we was talking before, you was kind of like, no, I don't want to discuss that because it's old, da-da-da, and I thought it was squashed. But evidently,
then you drop the first song off the tape.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What's going on?
Man, really tell you the truth, I was laughing at all this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was laughing at everything, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, from the whole everything. You know what I'm saying? I was just laughing at it. So, I was like, okay, I ain't tripping.
Right.
It's like when you get so much money, a lot of stuff, you see negativity or you see a lot of stuff come your way, like, you don't even indulge in it or you laugh at it, brush it off, you keep, like, it's funny to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I better not get this 0% attention. You know what I'm saying? 1% attention. But what sparked this, bro, real talk.
And we've been talking
my
about
little
this.
partners, one of my little partners, and another one of my partners. The first one, he was like, bro, you heard God a new tape, bro? You ain't heard, bro? He dissing you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. He said he slick dissing you, bro. He saying who? I'm like, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I don't even like to hear negativity. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, second one come. We in the car now, we blazing.
Mm-hmm.
He like, bro, you heard this? Such and such. He like, man, nigga trying to this. He like, bro, really, bro, his last 2 tapes he put out, he like, he like, you ain't heard it? I'm like, no. He like, bro, you gotta keep, I'm like, I don't listen to it.
Right.
So he like, listen to it, play it. I said, oh. Know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
you still
he thought
going.
the coast was clear.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? Like, he know that, everybody over there with him know that, all really, not even just them, everybody that know Dolph know, like, man, that young nigga about his business.
Right.
Now, I went back to listen to both the intro tracks of both projects. There were very subtle jabs in the intro songs. Now, one of them is from The Art of Hustle. Gotti raps, "You know it's rules and regulations when you the king of the city. And niggas coming for the throne. Some niggas can't make it home. Ain't talking that rap-ish, I'm speaking about real beef. When big homies can get wet and niggas can't get sleep. Put a 10 on a nigga, F it. Put a 50, make his friend do the nigga. This Memphis." So in my opinion, Gotti was letting it be known people want his throne and that it's real street beef behind this. And in the song 81 from CM9, Gotti raps, "I pay 6 figures a year for a hitter. Not cause he a goon, he my nigga. He got the city divided, bring it together. I tried it. F them niggas. I tried it. F them niggas. I tried it." Now, did I think these songs deserve what came next? You let me know in the comments. Was Dolph wrong for responding to these songs? Or was it just over-exaggerated? Because in 2017, the talk was over. Dolph would drop his infamous Play With Your Beat diss track aimed directly at Gotti, claiming he slept with his baby mother and exposing him and his older brother. The diss didn't just spark headlines, it led to real violence in the streets. Because less than 1 month later, after the song dropped, an attempt was made on Young Dolph's life. While in North Carolina attending a basketball tournament, Young Dolph's car was shot at 100 times. Due to his bulletproof truck, he would survive the attempt. Dolph wouldn't waste any time though capitalizing on the incident by dropping his mixtape Bulletproof and his hit single 100 Shots, taunting Gotti and anyone who was involved on the attempt on his life.
In your face, yeah, then they pray for you to fall.
The streets were buzzing and the beef was at an all-time high. Later on, CMG artist Black Youngster would turn himself into police and would be questioning connection to the shooting. He would be charged with discharging a firearm, but I was unable to find if he was convicted on those charges. But one thing was for sure, the beef had escalated from a war of words to shots being fired in the streets, turning a personal rivalry into something much more dangerous. On September 26, 2017, Young Dolph found himself at the center of another life-threatening attempt. In broad daylight, he was shot multiple times following an argument with the CMG affiliate. In the moment of danger, Dolph was able to escape to the shooting was connected to his ongoing beef with Dolph.
Breaking news, a shooting at a popular tourist spot in Hollywood. Tonight, a rapper is in critical condition.
It happened just after 1 this afternoon in front of the Lowe's Hotel at the Hollywood and Highland complex.
And
a man has been arrested in connection with the shooting of rapper Young Dolph. Police booked Corey McClendon from Memphis, Tennessee for attempted murder. Young Dolph was shot multiple times Tuesday after getting into an argument with 3 men outside of a Hollywood hotel.
The attempt on Dolph's life only fueled him to keep dropping music. He would release his single, Believe Me, showcasing footage of him recovering in the hospital, a message sent to the streets of Memphis. Despite the bullets, he wasn't backing down. Watching that video, feeling how powerful the message was he was trying to send. That no matter what you could do to him, you wasn't gonna break Dolph. As 2017 came to an end, the beef between Dolph and Gotti was quiet, at least in the public eyes. Dolph would go on to sign his cousin, Key Glock, to his Paper Route Empire label, cementing their bond and bringing a new wave of energy to Memphis. On the other hand, Gotti had embraced his new role as a CEO, signing new emerging talent like Moneybagg Yo, 42 Doug, and Glorilla. CMG had sparked new life into Memphis, and the rivalry seemed to die down. For a moment, it seemed like Dolph and Gotti had grown past their beefs, shifting focus on their business, their music, and their artists. But beneath the surface, tensions was brewing. On November 17th, 2021, the unthinkable happens. While shopping for cookies at Memphis' local spot, Makita's Homemade Butter Cookies, young Dolph was spotted and gunned down in broad daylight. The tragedy had spread in the hip-hop community instantly, and the internet was quick to point the blame. Many speculated that CMG was to blame for the late rapper's death, with rumors suggesting Gotti's own older brother, Big Jook, put a $40,000 bounty on Dolph's head. The streets and social media believe Dolph's murder was the result of his unresolved beef with Gotti.
Behind your partner and them, you know what I'm saying? If your partner, something happened to your partner, you ain't no real nigga if you don't stand behind it. And I just stand on principle, bro. I couldn't hear that, bro. That shit done put tears in my eyes, bro. When I heard that little boy Trey say, man, I miss my dad, mom. When I heard that fucked me up, bro. That shit fucked me up. And keep in mind, I said, if I see Juke, if I see Gotti, if I see Migo, or if I see Youngster, I'ma get on that ass. This shit ain't got nothing to do with nobody else, bro. I said if I see them folk, because these folk had something to do with it, bro. These folk, nigga don't know that Juke put a hit out, bro. Nigga don't know this shit. You know what I'm saying? But nah, fuck all that, bro. I need to say that. Niggas ain't gonna say that. Nigga ain't gonna tell the truth, bro. Nigga ain't say, man, hey, bro, how you gonna feel if a nigga told you, hey, man, look, bro, my Juke put a $40,000 hit on you, bro. Like,
now, this was like the tail end of COVID, if I remember correctly. A sad day, not only for Dolph's fans, but for his family. Just days before, he would have a local turkey drive for his community, or around that time, if I'm not mistaken. So he was in Memphis trying to do good for the community, and people were looking to kill this guy, which is honestly sad. But as the dust settled, a new theory emerged. One not rooted in rap beef, but the complex world of gang alliances. But how did this result in Dolph's death? Keep watching to the end to find out if Dolph's gang ties resulted in his own demise. Before Dolph's death, he forged ties with two prominent Memphis gangs, Double R and the Trula Mafia. These alliances brought Dolph deeper into the street politics. Once united under the same gang, Double R and Trula Mafia were once a family. But when blood was spilled in the streets, Double R and Trula Mafia forced the streets of Memphis to pick a side. This video is sponsored by Lander, your one-stop music production powerhouse. Everything you need to create and release music, including samples, plugins, unlimited distribution, and the world's best AI mastering engine. Create and release more music for one low price of just $11.99 a month. I've been using Lander for a good 2 years now to release my singles, Bad Bitches and Score. Go download it on all platforms right now. But they're super easy to use. Not only do they have no threshold for you to cash out, so if you get $5, $10, $50, even $100, you can cash out on that money. But they also give other tools, like there's courses that you can get as soon as you start paying, and you can collaborate with other artists to get cover arts done. Maybe you need a beat, or maybe you just need some help engineering the song. So download Lander today and use my discount code that'll be in the link in the description to get 20% off your first purchase at Lander. Back to the video.
The real story behind the music begins about 10 years ago, when young Dolph was affiliated with a young street rapper called J Money. J Money would post pictures of Dolph visiting his hood and saying that Dolph always told him that he wanted to see him win and eat, along with posts calling Dolph's crew, Paper Route Empire, his family. J Money was part of a gang called Trula Mafia, from the Orange Mound neighborhood in southeastern Memphis, which borders the Castilla Heights neighborhood where young Dolph grew up. J Money was a respected member of the Trula Mafia and was active in the streets from a young age. At just age 18, J Money was charged with the murder of another young man who was supposedly his good friend. But even that situation would seemingly not slow him down, and already later that year, J Money was again in trouble with the law, this time due to an aggravated assault charge of his ops. And sadly, in 2016, J Money would be shot dead in an apparent gang-related revenge killing. J Money was a high-ranking and respected member in Trula Mafia, who had deep connections with many different gangs in Memphis. His murder would allegedly cause a major power vacuum within True La Mafia, leading to internal conflicts and eventually a full divide between two factions in the gang, with some of the original True La Mafia members breaking off to start their own set titled Double R, meaning Rich and Ruthless, with many of these members allegedly also having ties to the Grape Street Crips. In fact, another legendary Memphis artist, Pooh Shiesty's cousin Big Scar, real name Alexander Woods, would be one of the former True La Mafia members who was also affiliated with the Grape Street Crips, and he would eventually leave the original True La Mafia to join Double R. Things would further escalate between both camps when Double R member BG, aka Baby Grape, was allegedly killed by 3 True La Mafia members, C-Mode, Zay, and Go Crazy. Go Crazy, real name Carlos Lacey, would eventually go down for this murder. The deceased man, BG, was actually a close friend of Big Scar, and this incident would allegedly be the catalyst sparking a war between both groups in the streets of Memphis. Shortly after, Double R would retaliate, killing Zay, one of the original True La Mafia members suspected of being involved in the hit. Following this, True La Mafia and Double R would go back and forth numerous times. C-Mode would return home from jail after a separate case, sending shots at Double R in a song called Send a Hit, which made himself an even bigger target, with him even naming himself as the main op. But his run as a rapper would be short-lived, and he would eventually be charged with 7 counts of attempted murder after shooting up a house twice.
People at this home on Myers put up this camera after someone shot at or near their home twice in the same week. Other people who live in this neighborhood say they feel like hostages in their own home because of the random gunfire.
Meanwhile, D-Money, the brother of J-Money, would also be shot dead in May 2020, causing yet more friction between these warring groups. After D-Money's murder, rumours would spread that he was allegedly killed by the artist named Big Unk, formerly known as Uncle Danny. Big Unk is allegedly affiliated with the Double R crew as well as Yo Gotti's CMG crew. He was a prominent street rapper from Memphis, known for showing off serious weapons in his music video. For example, seen here surrounded by goons and a whole lot of heavy weapons for the terrifying music video for a track called Play Dead, as well as a collaboration with Big Scar called Go Monkey, where him and his goons show off an arsenal of weapons looking like something straight out of Call of Duty. After D-Money's death and the rumours that he was involved, Big Unk, real name Daniel Banks, would simply post 3 laughing emojis on his Facebook, as well as reposting a cryptic message about some things being better left unsaid, along with a shushing emoji. Just a few days after dissing 23, D-Money would post a text message on Facebook that he had apparently received, where someone seemingly threatens to kill D-Money in his car, swearing to do it on Grape. Now, this is where Young Dolph enters the picture. Young Dolph would actually sign Double R members Big Unk to his Paper Route Empire label despite his former connection to Yo Gotti's CMG. And in signing Big Unk, Young Dolph had inadvertently picked sides in this separate beef that had brewed between True La Mafia and Double R. And this would cause True La Mafia to side with Yo Gotti's CMG group and Big Unk's Double R crew to side with the Paper Route Empire of Young Dolph. Now, some fans would criticize Young Dolph at this time, since he had been so close to J Money back in the day, with many being confused as to why he had chosen to sign the man who had allegedly murdered his brother. But regardless of the reasons, apparently when Young Dolph chose to sign Big Unk, he effectively made himself a prime target for True La Mafia, with Big Unk's street ties essentially bringing a younger generation of Memphis gang members to the forefront of this industry feud that had been going on between Young Dolph and PRE and Yo Gotti and his CMG label.
At this time, Dolph would make another crucial decision that stood out to most, signing the alleged killer of his close associates. To many in the streets of Memphis, this was signaling he had picked his side in the deadly war between Double R and the True La Mafia, and many believe that this choice is what set in motion the chain of events that took Young Dolph's life. But as we take a deeper look at the Young Dolph murder trial and evidence, the motive becomes a lot more complicated. Was Young Dolph's death really tied to the streets' politics, or was it simply the result of rap beef turned real? Keep watching to find out why Young Dolph was actually murdered in the streets of Memphis. On November 17th, 2021, Young Dolph was fatally shot while shopping for cookies in broad daylight. The murder trial focused on key suspects, including Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, who was found guilty of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and firearm possession as a convicted felon. Justin Johnson, who did not testify during the trial, was convicted on September 26, 2024. The evidence presented against him was damning. Surveillance footage from the crime scene and cell phone records placed him directly in the vicinity of the shooting, painting a clear picture of his involvement. Now, there's a few other key figures, but we're going to talk about all of them. So first, you have Justin Johnson, who we know has been convicted of the murder of young Dolph. Then you have Cornelius Smith, the co-conspirator who testified against Johnson, who admitted to his role in killing young Dolph, claiming he was paid for a hit, or at least supposed to be paid. We'll get to that later. Then we have Hernandez Govan, allegedly the mastermind behind the murder. Govan is accused of orchestrating the killing, putting Justin and Cornelius together, offering them money for Dolph's death. And then you have Anthony Big Jook Mims, Yo Gotti's big brother and right-hand man to CMG, rumored to have placed $100,000 on Dolph's head. Although Big Jook wasn't on trial due to his own passing, his name had been reportedly mentioned in connection with the feud that escalated to this tragic event.
5 police sources have confirmed with Fox 13 that the person killed is Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook. Now, Big Jook is the brother of rapper Yo Gotti. Now, we were at that scene earlier tonight. Police say 2 men were shot outside Perion's restaurant and event center around 4:15. Now, that's on.
The prosecution built a strong case against the defendants. Surveillance footage captured the gunmen arriving and fleeing scene, while cell phone records helped trace their movements before and after the crime. Perhaps the most pivotal moment came when Cornelius Smith testified that he and Justin Johnson had been hired to kill young Dolph, claiming that Hernandez Govan was behind it all. Now, not only did this guy testify that CMG was behind the whole thing, it was his daughter's birthday when he went to go kill young Dolph.
How did you get to be with Justin Johnson this day on November 17th, 2021?
We knew that, you know, they had heat on Dolph and them head or whatever, so.
Who had a hit on whose head?
Big Jook had a hit on Dolph head or whatnot, so.
How do you know that Big Jook had a hit on Dolph's head?
Quit had told me about it, Quit, and, you know what I'm saying, being just.
How much money was it supposed to be?
$100,000 on Dolph head.
And had you agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
Had Justin agreed to do this hit?
Yes, sir.
We all gonna do it together?
Yeah, they been on it, but yeah.
Was there any arrangements as far as splitting money or anything?
Yeah, me and him supposed to be giving Quit $10,000 apiece.
All right, so you and him were gonna give Govan $10,000 apiece?
Yeah.
And how much were you gonna get?
I was getting 40, he was getting 40.
Okay. Had you spoken with Justin about this?
Yeah, we been talking about it.
Okay. This was not something that just happened this day, but something that was in the process for weeks?
Yeah, weeks.
How did y'all hook up this day, if you remember?
He had pulled up to get me. He came and got me or whatever.
Where did he get you from?
He got me from my father's house.
Where's your father's house?
Out of Lamont Sims.
Orange Mound area?
Yeah.
Had either you called him or he called you or anything like this?
He had called me the first time I missed the call. Then he called me back. I answered. He was telling me basically they were pulling up because we already knew what was going on.
When you say you already knew what was going on, you already knew that this is about?
Yeah, because we knew they were doing the turkey drive, so we was actually on our way to Westwood.
Had you and Justin talked about this particular day before?
Like, not the specific day. Like, we just knew that it was turkey drive going every day that week.
Okay.
Yeah, I got scared. I got on damn.
Did y'all drive out there?
Yeah, we drove out there.
Stay in a hotel?
Yeah, stay in a hotel.
About how long were you gone?
I was gone a couple days. I ain't had any more money on me.
Run out of money, you gotta come back.
Yeah, I gotta come back.
And you come back, do you pick up that money from the old woman?
Yeah, I picked up the money from her, and I saw how much it was. I'm like, here, you know what I'm saying? Like, $500.
You could spend that on pills in one day, right?
Yeah, it's over with. Yeah, I can pay it.
What'd you do with the letter?
I flushed down the toilet at the hotel room.
All right, is that the only time you got any money from Justin?
Nah, a couple days later, I was in the city or whatever, and he was saying that he was gonna have his folks to pull up on me, bring me some money or whatever, hold me down. So got the car. And she met the person that was driving on the street or whatever. I had her to have her face mask on, and she said they had their face masks on, so we don't know who it was, but they got her $300.
$300.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is from Justin's folks.
Yeah, this from Justin's folks.
All right, so now we've been paid about $800.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is there any other payment coming?
All the payments stopped, man.
All the payments stopped.
Everything stopped.
And a lot of people just kept trying to connect it to the Trula Mafia and Double R passing. But at the same time, Cornelius Smith, he had to take a plea bargain, meaning he had to tell them everything that he did, who he talked to, and who was involved. He never once mentions Trula Mafia. And if you look at the video, these guys didn't know what they were doing. If Big Jook and Govain had hired real hitters from the Trula Mafia to go out and take out Dolph, how come they went with these guys who don't know how to shoot the guns, who are random guys, somebody who they took advantage of to go and take out the murder? It just doesn't make any sense why people keep connecting it to the Trula Mafia. One of the most powerful pieces of evidence came in the form of motive. While the internet did their own investigation when Dolph died, prosecutors linked the killing to the long-standing rivalry between Dolph's label, Paper Route Empire, and Yo Gotti's collective music group, CMG. The bitter feud had played out for several years through diss tracks and street confrontations, and tragically accumulated in Dolph's murder. Now, I couldn't wrap my head around why the internet kept shifting the blame, like I said, to Trula Mafia and Double R. He just never mentions anything but CMG, Big Jook, Hernandez Govain, and Justin. I believe the violence between those gangs happened around the same time, resulting to people concluding they had tied one to another, but that couldn't be further from the truth, as we see in the trial. The trial has deeply impacted young Dolph's family and fans. Dolph's sister, Clarissa Thornton, spoke after the verdict, expressing gratitude to the jury and investigators while reminding everyone to focus on who young Dolph was: a father, a businessman, a philanthropist, someone who gave back to his community.
On November 17, 2021, our lives changed forever. A son, a father, a brother, a friend, a businessman, a music artist, a philanthropist, and life partner are all among just some of the titles that my brother Adolph Robert Thornton Jr. held. Titles that have now left a missing piece in the lives of so many. I want to say thank you to the jury for their service and decision in this case to bring us one step closer to justice for our family, friends, supporters, and the community that has supported us during this time. Thank you to Judge Mitchell, Shelby County District Attorney's Office, including Paul Hangerman and his team, the MPD, U.S. Marshals, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and other investigators and staff that assisted us with this investigation and case, ensuring that those responsible for this crime and involved with this crime have and will be brought to justice for their actions.
Though justice was served, the trial is a bittersweet reminder of the tragic loss of a figure who meant so much to Memphis and the music world. As others suspect, like Cornelius Smith and Hernandez Govain, face the day in court, young Dolph's legacy will continue to live on, not just in the courtroom, but in his own music and the community that still mourns his untimely death. This is a sad chapter in hip-hop's history, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked feuds and the profound impact of violence can have on families, fans, and communities. While we await for further development in the trial of Dolph's other co-conspirators, let's take a moment to remember the man who gave us so much and didn't have enough time. The trial has exposed the tragic side of fame and street conflict, serving as a powerful lesson on how deep-rooted rivalries can destroy lives and leave long-lasting scars. I just want to say I appreciate anybody who made it to the end of this video. I worked really hard doing all the research, and yeah, man, it's just a sad story to see young Dolph go this way. He had so much more to do, and it just seemed like a bitter rivalry took him out. But I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one, man.